is a human emotion that we all share. Do you think that maybe during this time of pandemic there's a need for us to be able to express our lament?
I do, Susie. I know that because I myself have found lament part of my life over the last 6 or 8 months since the pandemic started. And what we have been thinking about from our staff perspective is that we, not only as individuals, but we as a church have been in a season of lament because of all of our losses and all the hardship that we've experienced in the last 8 to 9 months. And so we have conceived of a project by which we can offer up to God a faithful expression of our lament together.
So what we're going to do here at GPC is we're going to invite our church family as well as our Germantown community and anyone who might want to come. So if you're watching us on Facebook and you want to come and share your own expressions of lament, grief and sorrow, angst, whatever you're feeling during this time, then you can come to Evans Chapel. And we're going to have Evans Chapel open during the week and also on Sunday. And that will be 10 to 3 on Monday through Friday and 9 to 1 on Sunday. When you come into Evans Chapel, then you're going to be able to read some scripture and to offer some reflection and do some writing. And then you'll be able to take your writing and do what with it?
Well, we're going to have a beautiful piece of art in the front of the chancel area in Evans Chapel. And that's been created by one of our church members, Kathy Villegas. And on that piece of canvas that will be in the front of the sanctuary in the chapel will be a tree. And in the month of November, during this season of lament, it's actually going to be an autumn light tree, a tree that's barren, that's losing its leaves. And we think that's symbolic of what we have lost during this season of pandemic and the sense of grief and the sense of hardship that we have all faced. And so you'll be able to pin your leaf onto the tree that will be in the front of Evans Chapel. And on that leaf, you will have written maybe just one word, or maybe like me, several words that express my own sense of grief and loss over what's happened in this year of 2020. And that might be a sense of loss for what we've experienced with loved ones who have died of the pandemic. It might be for our community and a lot of hardships and economic losses for people all up and down the socioeconomic level. It might be for our community and what we have lost during this season of a lot of societal unrest, a lot of protests, and a lot of the hardships we've seen for people in not just our community but around the whole nation.
Yeah, and that's so important because Scripture tells us that stories of lament are all throughout Scripture. They always point us then towards hope. And so in the month of December, we're going to make that shift together. And we're going to invite you to come again during the month of December. And we're going to move through the season of Advent with the themes of hope and joy and love and peace each week. And you're going to be invited to come back, and you're going to be invited to again do some reflection, and then do what?
Well, then you can do the same thing with your expressions of hope, because you will have a chance to, as Susie just said, write those out and then come to the front of the chapel again, where another piece of art will then be on display, and you can pin your leaves of hope, your expressions of joy and anticipation. You can pin those onto the spring-like tree, the tree of growth. And so we want to make this turn, acknowledging, as Susie said, all the grief and the hardship that we've seen, acknowledging the lament, but then turn that toward hope as we turn to the season of Advent and what we all anticipate through the birth of Christ. And that is the birth of a very new kind of real and genuine hope in all of us through what God has done for us through Christ and through His coming into the world for our sake.
And the promises that God gives to us. And so we always want to move people towards the light of God. And so again, the times when you can come are going to be Monday through Friday, 10 to 3, and again on Sunday, 9 to 1. We welcome you all to come to Germantown Presbyterian Church to Evans Chapel and participate in this project we're calling From Lament to Hope. We hope that you will come and be with us.
We do indeed. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you in Evans Chapel during the months of November and December.